So, but we are lucky that we live in a time when choir is still possible. It's not as ideal as, meeting inside here, this lovely space, but we can do it. And one of the big things for this group in particular is our outreach, right? When we sing, we provide a gift for other people, and it's so special. Like some of those nursing homes, you go back and you see them in tears, and they're like, I remember you from last year, and I listen to your recording every day. So what we do matters. And so there will be a learning curve as we get used to the Zoom stuff and the virtual choir. But I think it's going to be something that we're going to learn a lot from. And I think as musicians, we're all going to become more independent, myself included. So it's going to be really great.
So a lot of people voted for it?
Enough that I think we can get something going. And then I think what is exciting is if we could do such a great job that other people might see it and be like, oh yes, I could do that too, I think it's a little scary for some people. And I totally get that. So I kind of just wanted to break down the process of how we're going to do this so that everybody's a little bit, and then if you have questions, please bring those up. So you can leave tonight feeling confident about it and clear about what's going to happen. So I think, is it next week we're starting rehearsals?
That's the plan.
The plan is, okay, so next week, we're going to start, the 29th, we're going to start with a unison piece, something that we've all sung, I believe. It's called Winter Dreams. Yeah, it's like, it was part of our concert called A Million Frozen Stars. And that text came from that piece. And it's just, creates this gorgeous imagery. And I think it's also something that we can all be successful on our first try at the Zoom thing. So, that'll be lots of fun. And then that can be a full group rehearsal since it's unison. And then eventually we're going to switch into parts. So like the sopranos and altos will rehearse for an hour, tenors and basses will rehearse for an hour separately.
And will you send us a Zoom invitation?
Yes, all this stuff, and we're going to send out these directions, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that you have.
So we don't have to worry about learning a part and coming back to recording this time.
So, right, yes, it's all going to be innocent.
Okay.
The plan with most of them is we're going to send out a click track with your part, and also an accompaniment. So something you could practice with on your own.
Click track.
A click track is just keeps the beat for you, and then it'll have like, for instance, Autumn closure. So you'll hear your notes, and then you can sing along and learn your part that way.
Okay.
And then we'll come together Tuesday nights to rehearse via Zoom. And Gabriella mentioned, when we all sing at one time, it's chaos, and it sounds really bad. So
On Zoom.
On Zoom.
Not your individual voices.
That's technology based, not.
Doesn't Zoom cut out it? One voice? Can you avoid that?
No, so right now I've had some people tell me that there's some things that you can buy, some different programs that you can purchase.
Well, I have Zoom meetings at work, and you have to, when you're not talking, and somebody else is talking, you mute yourself, you're muted.
So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And this is what I've been doing right now is I teach the little ones. I'm doing this with 5-year-olds right now. So it can be done. So you're all gonna be muted. And then I will be in the room with Brenda, and we will play your part. I will give some feedback based off of what I know our choir sounds like. So it'll be intuition for me, knowing our tendencies and that kind of stuff, and knowing the music well enough to foresee, like, oh, this is gonna be a tricky spot. But then on your part, you just have to be more vigilant and more of an advocate for your success. Because when I'm in here with you, I can listen to you and say, oh, we need to fix this. We need to work on this. I'm not going to be able to do that. So at home, you have to say, hey, Mike, we're not getting the alto part at measure 27. Or what kind of a vowel do you want there? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm going to try to foresee as much of that as I can. But it's still going to be a learning process.
This sounds fun, though.
It's
like
unique.
It's going to be fun.
It is fun. And it's, when someone told me about the process, I was like,
are we going to put together a CD or an album?
so we're going to, the goal is to put together a virtual holiday card or winter card for the people who not only we usually go sing for, like the nursing homes, but also friends and family, that kind of stuff. So it'll be a virtual card that they can watch. It'll probably be 20 to 30 minutes long. I'll include like 3 or 4 songs, which I think will be enough for us to work on in the next couple months. And then also,
Still all Tuesday nights on Zoom.
and so one of the things that we were hoping is maybe in between some of the songs, you know, we had that one concert where people got to introduce the pieces and say like, oh, this means something to me because. So I'm thinking we could do something like that, or if you have a poem you like to read, so that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for that. But that's what the product is going to look like at the end.
Okay.
Something you can send out. So no in-person concert.
Sheet music?
So sheet music, I was going to bring some tonight, but I just think in keeping safe with everything, we're going to email PDFs, and then if you don't have a computer or something, we can make arrangements to bring you sheet music. But we didn't want to come with like a stack of music and hand it out.
Okay.
So as far as the process, I think we're going to start. How about we'll get through everything, and then I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions.
Okay.
So I want to get back into just getting you singing and doing the warm-ups and thinking about technique and learning about, you know, all that stuff. And then probably jump into some music next week as a full group. From there on out, we will probably have sopranos, altos, tenors, and basses. Probably for an hour on Tuesday nights. So we're thinking like tenors and basses for the first hour, 7 to 8. Sopranos and altos from 8 to 9. That may, I mean, we're going to see how that works, and then we might have to adjust. And then, I mean, if you wanted to practice on your own, like let's say you go from 7 to 8, and you're like, I really want to learn my part for next week, you'll have like a click track in your part that you can practice. So you don't have to do any work outside of like our normal 7 to 9 on Tuesday, unless you want to, right?
Okay.
I think that's as far as the rehearsals go. As far as, I was gonna say, as far as the actual recording process, this is the one where it's kind of weird. You can either have like your sheet music on a device and look at that, and then have another device that's videotaping you, or the other option is to print out your music and have it here. Have a device where you're listening to music through a headphone. I usually do one headphone in, one headphone out, so you can still hear yourself, but also hear the track. And then you'll videotape yourself. And then the fun part is that you get to pretend like you're in a choir concert while you're at home. I always picture like Carla Miller. You know Carla, when she's singing, she's like, and I'm like, yes, she's having a good time. It'll be a little different when you're sitting at home on your own. So it's all about that. Yeah. But then the virtual choir, if you haven't seen one, it's going to be just like a Zoom video where you're going to see all the different faces and you can see everybody singing at the same time. And the gentleman that we were hiring to put all this together does a really great job. I think with all this information, we'll send out a couple pieces which he's produced in the past. And I think you'll be really impressed. So it should be a great product, an interesting, unique experience for us to learn from, but I think well worth our time. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm sure I forgot a lot of details.
So I think the process of recording, so you need something you can listen to because we want to all be singing at the same tempo when it all gets edited together. So that's why you have something to listen to. So you're listening to the track and we're all singing at the same tempo because we don't have Brenda coming to everyone's house. Although maybe she would.
I'm willing.
And then you need something to record you. So that's the two device aspect of this that we mentioned in the survey. You need one device that you can listen on and another that you can record on. So that could be your computer and your phone and your iPad. But that's why you need the two devices.
And they can be cheap, like if you have like a Chromebook, which is I think like $150, $200, or like a cheap iPad works, an old smartphone.
Do you have to get a microphone that goes with that, or just the microphone?
If you want to go all out, there are professional level microphones that would sound better. When I've done virtual choirs, I've just used my cell phone.
Okay.
So,
I think, Dion, you just used your cell phone or iPad when you did it? my church did one, and everyone just used their cell phones, and it sounds lovely.
Yeah. It's, yes.
I just uploaded something yesterday. You just have to be real careful that you're not getting background noise. Like the lawnmower from the neighbor next door. Kids riding their bike outside your window in the cul-de-sac. Your ceiling fan, that
This
can even...
machine noise that's happening right now
Yeah,
when you're talking.
and,
Right. Yeah.
and I will say, and I this is kind of my mantra with all these people I talk to, if I can do it, anybody can do it, truly. I am not a tech person. I don't embrace it, kind of like Michael. I go into it resistant. The other thing is, you have the ability to listen to yourself and say, that no one's going to hear that. So you have the option to record multiple times and then save, and then just however you're going to do it. But just save what you like and erase all the rest. So it doesn't have to be a one-take Charlie by any means.
And we're doing it one piece at a time, specifically so we can kind of get our feet wet a little bit, see how it goes, work out the kinks, get done with that one piece, and then we don't have to try to retain a bunch of stuff the whole time. We'll move on to the next piece, get that done, get it recorded, get it submitted. So we're going to do this kind of in steps.
And you'll get a calendar. You'll know exactly, okay, I've got this amount of time to work on it. I need to upload it to whomever.
Oh, okay, good.
So
Good,
you're
good.
not
Yeah, okay,
cramming.
well
It's not like
organized.
finals where, you know, you cram it all in the night before.
Right. Should we talk about dues?
Sure.
Do you want?
But now I can't remember what we came up with. I think we said 50.
Yeah.
Great. So we know that the last session did not end in the typical way, and people had already provided their dues for that. And so we had talked about, you know, sort of discounting this session. And when we were back in Fantasyland, where we thought this session would happen inside with people singing without masks on. But we do want to make good on that. So we're going to ask for, and we also, it's fewer pieces, it's just a different experience. So we're asking for $50 for dues. As always, if that's a hardship for anyone, that is not a reason not to participate. We really just want to sing with you guys, but there are expenses involved. So if you are able to give the $50, we very much appreciate it. But please don't let that be something that stops you. It is going to add a little bit of expense, actually, because we need someone to edit this together. And I think that's really, I think it's really worthwhile. I think it's exciting to make music again. But that does mean, I think, that if you are able to give above the $50 and feel inclined to, that would be helpful. But again, like this is not a money-making operation. That's not what it's about. But I think that is something to know. And then also, I think that the greeting card aspect of this could be really interesting in terms of if we can send this to people and mention that they can donate on our website and use that as a way to sort of we get a lot of our funding and kind of make up the gap in our budget with concert donations. We tend to have generous friends and family who come to our concerts, so this could be another way to kind of bring in some of that donation money. So yeah, but all in all, $50.
And you're getting a product at the end.
You are, absolutely. Something you can hang on to. So.
I actually, yeah, the process is obviously different and like, I think lacks some of the things that we all like about singing in a group, but I think the end product is so cool of like having
Yeah,
a thing
I'm
you can actually
excited.
see and send around, and friends who couldn't make it that day or don't live in state can see what you do. So I think that part is really exciting.
Yeah.
And there's you don't have to worry about license or anything. You know, we have the product and you can send it to anybody.
Yeah. So what questions do you guys have?
I forgot mine.
Oh no.
I had one question, but I forgot what it was.
Maybe it'll come up.
Oh, we'll probably need to update the website to be able to do the $50 donation
Yep.
and take off the paying the
Yep.
penalties.
Yep. We can do that.
That's good.